provided she's prepared to settle the matter out of court.
I see.
Now, I have here a document. Mrs. Birdsworth should read it carefully. Now, anything she doesn't understand must be explained to her. When she does understand it, she can then discuss the matter with me.
You don't want to see her now?
Oh, I don't think that'll be necessary. Besides, from what I've heard of her, I'll probably only confuse her with legal jargon.
Conversely, she might confuse you with her prison jargon, Mr. Walsh.
Yes, I dare say. Well, will that be all right?
Yes, of course. I'll see that she gets it.
Thank you. Just call me when you need me. Good day.
Goodbye.
$40,000, eh? Doesn't seem much for all those years in here. I wonder if she'll accept it.
I would accept 40 cents if it would guarantee I'd never see this place again. Who is it?
David, it's me, David.
Coming. Hello. I shouldn't open the door to you. David, I'm so pleased to see you. I've been so lonely.
Come on, let's just get you inside. How much of that stuff have you socked away today?
What? Only a couple of bottles.
Yes, I can well believe it.
Oh, you better. Oh, come on. Oh, David, don't be mad at me. Just love me, please.
Kerry, you just have to get on with your work.
Why?
Because
I'm sick of it.
Now, listen, you're brilliant and you're talented and you mustn't waste that sort of talent on the booze.
And I mustn't open the door to David Austin.
Kerry, I love you. But because I do, I know the only thing that makes you happy is your work. Now, I don't want the woman I love not to be happy, you understand?
Oh, David, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and so are you, but you are just a teeny weeny little bit drunk, aren't you?
Oh, me?
Yeah. So, let's just get you into the shower, shall we? And back to work. Come on.
Okay.
Unless I miss my guess, Mrs. Burke, I think he's going to let you off.
Well, I think we have a pretty straightforward summation here, as the defendant has in fact entered a plea of guilty. Ordinarily, I would have no hesitation in sentencing you to a 6-month non-parole period of imprisonment. But considering the circumstances of your recent tragedy, I am prepared to be lenient at this time. Clerk, are there any previous convictions? Good Lord. Well, while all here are no doubt utterly sympathetic to your recent loss, and while I agree with counsel for the defense that any punishment at this time would seem both cruel and perverse, I'm afraid your record leaves me absolutely no choice in the matter. 6 months imprisonment.
Oh, straight!
Oh, why don't you watch where you're going?
Now, come on, you two, cut it out. I want my privileges back as soon as possible. That means everyone behaves. Got it? Come on, pick it up. Where did you get that?
Hey?
The fag. Come on, give us a drag. Listen, remember, no buyout privileges for a fortnight. So take care of your fags, otherwise you'll run out.
Come for the kitchen linen.
Oh, poor little Josie.
Now, come on. That's enough of that. Why don't you give Judy a hand folding the linen and stop worrying?
I can't help it. She's my own flesh and blood, and I haven't heard for weeks.
And that's because there's nothing to hear. They'll tell you if anything happens.
We've lost our privileges, remember?
Oh, they'll still tell you.
Maybe.
Of course they will. Oh, now, come on. The next couple of weeks is going to be hard enough without you two moping about the place looking like...
Lizzie, come with me, please.
Crikey.
I told you, didn't I? I told you. Bad news. It's Josie, isn't it, Mrs. J? She's sick.
Now, don't be silly, Lizzie. It's nothing of the kind.
What then?
Well, Paul Reed wants to see you. Now, come on. Well, don't just stand there. Get back to work.
Come in. Oh, come in, Lizzie. Sit down. Well, how are you?
Not bad, I suppose.
Good, good.
Excuse me, Paul. You'll have to get an officer to take Lizzie back. Don't forget the security gates are locked.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much, mate. Well, now, Lizzie.
It's about Josie, isn't it?
No, it isn't. Why?
Well, she's very sick, and I haven't heard anything. I'm real worried. Have you heard anything, Mr. Reed?
No, I haven't, Lizzie.
I'm not allowed to have any visitors. What if things got worse?
Look, if Marcia does call, I'll pass the information on straight away, I promise. Okay, now, why don't you help yourself to a cigarette, and we'll get down to business. The government have made you an offer of compensation.
Eh?
$40,000.
40,000?
Of course, you realize that is provided that the matter is settled out of court. Now, they've left this document here for you. It pretty well explains the whole situation, but basically the gist of the proposal is that they'll give you $40,000 provided it doesn't go to court.
Oh. And what will they offer if I do take him to court?
Well, this document doesn't specify any figures, but you must realize that people only settle out of court if it's cheaper for them.
Yeah. But what do you reckon?
It's difficult to say, but at a guess, I'd say double that, perhaps more.
Struth!
Of course, there is one problem with going to court. It could take a long time, anything up to 2 years.
Yeah. Hard, isn't it? I haven't got much time, but I have got a family.
Lizzie, I don't quite know how to put this.
What?
Are you absolutely certain that Josie and Marcia are your family?
Do you think I don't know my own bloody daughter?
Lizzie...
Of course they're my family. Of course they're my bloody family.
All right, I'm sorry I mentioned it.
So you ought to be.
Yeah. Well, look, Lizzie, you take this document and read it carefully and then get back to me. If you have any problems, please don't hesitate, all right?
Yeah.
I'll call somebody to take you back. Oh.
Ah, just making some coffee. Want some?
Yes, please.
Finished with Lizzie?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, well, I think I managed to offend Lizzie, so I got it over and done with as quickly as possible.
Offend Lizzie? How on earth could anyone offend Lizzie?
But listen, you know about this government compensation business?
Yes, a bit. Why?
It's an awful lot of money.
Well, so it should be. She's entitled to it.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. But I was talking to Kevin the other day.
Doreen's Kevin.
Yeah. He drove Marcia and Josie up to the country to collect their things, and naturally enough, they got to talking, and,
And what?
Well, from some of the things they said, he got the impression that Marcia is not Lizzie's daughter.
You're joking. No wonder she was upset. Well, surely you don't think it's true.
I'm damned if I know, but it is a possibility.
Well, what are we going to do?
I'm damned if I know that either.
Meg Jackson.
Meg, Nolene Burke is in reception. She's come in as a prisoner.
Oh, dear.
Would you put her through the admission procedure and then bring her to my office?
Yes, of course.
Problems?
Leanne Burke's mother, Nolene, has just arrived at reception as a prisoner.
Well, is that as bad as it sounds?
Paul, without trying too hard, Nolene could turn this place into a hornet's nest.